What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I need to do a proper video on Umar Johnson. All right, because last night when I got the news, it was like a facetious, sarcastic video, putting the news out that Umar Johnson freaking, account got blocked. But here's the problem with this: Umar Johnson is the same dude that talked so much shit about YouTubers. What do you call everybody? Struggle streamers, struggle YouTubers, right? This dude, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I'm sick and tired of these fake ass princes. I done got on one, now I'm gonna get on this one. Because we got two fake ass princes, right? He's Prince of Pan-Africanism and the King Kong consciousness. You a king, but you ain't got no money in your pocket. You talk shit and you talk down on every other social media YouTuber who got any criticisms about you. You talk shit about every other Pan-African out there, and you put yourself above all Pan-Africans. That's not very Pan-African now, is it? You get on a chitlin circuit like a sweaty roving preacher, right? And all you do is take advantage of black women who want to protect their boys, right? You got a goddamn school that look like shit that you continue to paint over and over. Every goddamn year talking about it's going to open up. And you always got some dumbass excuse to why it ain't open yet. And every time it's supposed to open, here you come with some tragic story about somebody did some shit to you, right? So either two things is happening here. Either you a horrible business person and you can't be trusted with money and you can't be trusted with institution, or you a scammer. It can only be one or two things. Now, yeah, you know a lot of shit. You can regurgitate a lot of revolutionary leaders. You can regurgitate a lot of trauma. You can say it with passion, right? You can use that big gorilla voice of yours to protrude the sentiment of Pan-Africanism. And I have to say you do a good job, just like those preachers. Preachers do a good job, too. They got the gift of gab, too. You ain't the only person. All you did was take off the preacher robe and put on the dashiki, which I'm pretty sure you ain't pay for, right? Because for all the shit you talk, you get online, right, with your goddamn voice reflecting a sense of urgency to your subscribers, right, to the people who worship you because you 6'2" chocolate. You got the stereotypical look of a big boy, big man. I know motherfuckers like you, right? You ain't fooling nobody, right? You taking advantage of the fact that you have an aesthetic that a lot of black women like, a lot of big, thick black women like. Because you look like you can pick their ass up. I know. All right, because I was a big boy too, a cute big boy, and those are the kind of women I attracted. I understand why some women like big boys. All right, and you just happen to be a big boy who can talk. You look like you can take care of somebody. You look like you can take care of somebody, but you can't. And what you did was you came out your mouth wrong because you let your britches. You thought you were bigger than you are. That's what it is. And you went online for years and years and years, talking about the black woman is God, but you proved that you don't believe that shit because you disrespected a woman. Even with your fake ass, half-ass apology, you talking about we need to keep the black woman's vagina. You shouldn't be saying the word vagina, punani, none of that shit. You think we don't know what you talking about? We talking about cookies, huh? That's all you talk about. You sit online on Instagram for years. You have never upgraded any of your goddamn YouTube channels. You don't know how to upgrade your YouTube capability. You put the shit on portrait mode all the time. You don't know nothing about goddamn making your shit go vertical, right? To give people a full experience. Because all you want to do is sit on beds and shit and lick your motherfucking lips at all the single moms that worship your big burly ass. While you talk about Pan-Africanism and you repeat the names of all our revolutionary leaders who was about their life. While you wear dashikis that your girlfriends bought you. Because clearly you ain't paid for the shit yourself. Your ass just came back from South Africa. You ain't got no motherfucking money. You stay on tour. You ain't got no motherfucking money. And let me tell you think people are stupid? I think you do. Because when you went online, he was like, hey, everybody, our account. What you mean, our account? So it's their account too, right? What's the name of the bank? The bank you been with since you was a teenager. You didn't even say the name of the bank. What's the name of the bank? Because if you said the name of the bank, and that bullshit you spit about having your personal account and your FDMG account, both of them got locked out. If they separate accounts, then one shouldn't affect the other. If you had a business account, right, connected to your 501c or whatever, however you structured it, one shouldn't have negated the other one. And if it wasn't fraudulent on your behalf, all you had to do is take your big black ass to the bank and get your money. But you get online like, hey family, hey, my son, hey, can y'all help me out? Help me take care of my mother. Hey, help me take care of me until I get access to my account. You think people stupid? Everybody gets alert when fraudulent activity hits their account. That's a normal, that shit been happening for damn near 10 years. Where the hell you been at? Nobody just checks their account and be like, oh shit, I can't get in it. And then you talking about, oh, they had no awareness of my account. So either did your account not exist or did it do exist? Did they not have your account or did it do exist? Either it did exist or it don't exist. And what bank is it, fool? What bank is all your supporters' money sitting in? Huh? How much is in that bank all your supporters got? And how do they get access to see how much they money sitting in there since you said it's their money? So now that you want them to give you more money, it's y'all's money's now, right? And you ain't got no job, Umar. So what money is in your personal account? Huh? All that goddamn, all them tour money, your roving preacher money is in your account? 15 goddamn years. Here's a question. You keep talking about this school. You think we stupid? How you gonna operate that school? Huh? You gonna rely on more donations to operate the school? Is that what it is? How much money you think? If your base was so loyal, right, to where they had enough money to donate to you for you to operate an entire school, then guess what? You wouldn't have a problem right now. You're talking about millions of dollars of operating costs to operate that school. Millions of dollars of operate. How are you going to operate the school? What about the teachers? What about the counselors? What about the security guards? What about the janitors? What about the principal? What about the vice principal? What about all the supporting staff? How are you going to pay them? What, you going to pay them slave labor? Huh? You're not going to give them a living wage? You want them to come do that shit for free? Every video Umar Johnson makes, this dude is trying to get somebody to do some shit for free. Dude got the nicest goddamn dashikis. I guarantee that motherfucker ain't paid for none of that shit. Dude, you make Pan-Africanism look bad outside of your speeches. You make Pan-African. If people really think that you a prince of Pan-Africanism, I would not blame them for thinking Pan-Africanism is a big ass scam, because you are a scam. You're supposed to be the king of consciousness. Can't take care of your mother. Got your daughter out here crashing out. That should be your priority. How you going? So you want us to trust you with your boys? You want us to trust you with our boys when you have displayed that you're not a good man. You're not an example of a father at all. You're a 50-something-year-old man. You ain't got no wife at all. So you're not a good example of a husband, of a leader, of a father, nothing. You just know how to speak good. You just know how to speak like this. You know how to speak loud. You know how to put your words together. You know how to bounce up and down. You got a deep voice. You can go, music. You can go, you can do that. That's what you can do. And that impresses a lot of people. I understand. And you take advantage of it. You one of them evil dudes who take advantage of your gift. And now you want your poor, gullible subscribers to give you some money to take care of your mama. The most requested scholar in the world, apparently, ain't got no money. You ain't getting $2,500 stack. You ain't getting that kind of money for you speaking. How much you getting paid to speak? Huh? Because I know people who go on tour who don't tout that they're the #1 scholar. I know they get paid. People get paid to go talk. People get paid $20, $30, $50, $50, $60,000 on the low end. The #1 in the world, you should be getting paid $250,000 a talk, a speech. I think all they doing is paying for your hotel and your flight and giving you a couple dollars and go to Wingstop, get you something to eat. That's all. You always doing videos in your goddamn car or in a fucking hotel or in a closet in your goddamn mama house. Where's your house? Where's your studio? You got people who've started YouTube channels and podcasts that you call struggle streamers. They got complete studios. They know how to put their phone on landscape mode. You've been portrait mode the whole time. That shows you don't even know how to use the phone you got in your hand. You are ridiculous. You are ashamed of Pan-Africanism. That's what you are. I hope people stop calling you to come speak at their lectures. I hope they go call real Pan-Africans. Because you think you ain't the only one. You're a Pan-African for pay. You're a Pan-African scammer. You're a Pan-African farce. That's what you are. You haven't accomplished shit. Nothing. And you can't come for me, bro. It's no way you can come for me. I've accomplished more in my life than you've ever accomplished in your life. Ever. So you definitely can't come for me. I ain't even rich yet. Okay? And if I was rich and I was making it like that, you would see the things that I'm doing. Nobody sees you do shit but stand outside of a fucked up ass building. And you dumb enough, and you so stupid, dude will stand by the building, you see the boards, you see the goddamn wooden board, windows boarded up. You talking about you gonna get a goddamn a license for occupancy. Ain't got no goddamn floors. You walk through your goddamn building and shit, you see there ain't no damn roof. You think they're gonna give you a license? Matter of fact, how you gonna pay for that license? You gonna ask some more single moms to pay for that shit? They can't. Most of their kids done grown up. That's why you dealing with old chicks, right? Because they got with you when they were young, when their kids was 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Now they kids in college already. They done already went to school. You think you gonna manipulate another generation of women? I don't fucking think so. Prince of Pan after my fucking ass. You ain't a prince of shit. You a prince of scamming is what the hell you are, Umar. You ain't shit. Because you, for years, you've been ragging on the small guy. You ain't never showed a sense of fucking community ever. It's just you solo dolo. You got all these other Pan-Africans out here, and if you was a real one, you would have had an army of Pan-Africans that had your back. You would have hundreds of YouTubers out here preaching the same thing you pretend to believe out here, and they would have had your back. You could have been a general if you was about that life for real. I would have been your right-hand dude, no bullshit. I'd have been right there. I would have been preaching, defending you to the death of me. But I can't defend your actions. I don't care if what you say is true. A lot of people say the same shit you say. I say the same shit you say. A lot of people say the same shit you say. You ain't saying nothing profound. You ain't doing shit in your school. Where's your online school? Huh? Why you it's 2025. You could have been had an online school. You wouldn't have had to get a goddamn license of occupancy then, would you? You wouldn't have had to pay for it. You could, in the age of AI, you can build an entire school and a curriculum, and you could have been doing that. You ain't got no summer school programs. You ain't got shit. You ain't got no goddamn charter programs. You ain't got no weekend classes. You ain't got nothing. You don't even practice anything you talk about. You just run your mouth for dollars. And you take advantage of women to come pick you up. Bring me a meal. Want to talk about their cookies. Want to lay on the bed and lick your Pan-African fucking lips and shit. Shit like that. What part of the game is that? Huh? You Pan-womanizer is what the fuck you is. You're a Pan-womanizer. And I dare say you probably not a Pan-African. You faking it, bro. You're not real. You talking it, you look it, but you're a snake in the grass. You're the worst kind because you get people hopes up. You get people amped because everything that come out your mouth when you're on stage is true. Everything you come out your mouth when you're on stage is true. But when you get off the stage, you're a fucking walking contradiction is what the fuck you are. And you're disrespectful as shit. You're disrespectful as shit, and you're not a team player. And you're a womanizer. And you take advantage of the most vulnerable members of our society, which is our women. You are the enemy, Umar Johnson. And everybody's starting to realize it. And they ain't want to come to that conclusion. They ain't want to believe it. Nah, not King Kong culture, not the Prince Pan-Africanism, not Efetunde. You don't even deserve that African name. You don't deserve to be an African. You don't deserve that passport. If they would have known you was such a piece of shit, they would have denied your ass. Left your ass right in Philadelphia in the fucking hood. That's where they would left your ass, right there, with your goddamn fucking gifted goddamn dashikis that you wear. Them Jones be nice shit, though, but I know they gifted, and you ain't paid for them shits. Not in America, because them bitches expensive. Unless you're using your goddamn supporters' money to pay for it. That's what you're doing. Yeah, you ain't shit. You ain't shit, bro. You a big-time piece of shit, bro. You just like them preachers. You a thief. You a thief. You a thief of your community. Yeah, you can't say Harriet Tubman enough to make up for this shit. You got your daughter out here. You don't even prioritize your daughters. And then you get online talking about you made a mistake. So your daughters is a mistake. Your children are a mistake because you don't know how to have a proper relationship with a woman. Because you talk about you didn't respect. Well, you don't respect women now. You literally got your daughter out here crashing the hell out every day. You see all these dudes taking advantage of your daughter? You see all these dudes taking advantage of your daughter online right now. She getting beat up. She getting made fun of. She being tossed around like a fucking clown. And here you go, talking about family values and we need to do this. What you need to do is go and build a relationship with your daughter, even though she cuss your ass. She don't want shit to do with you. You done burnt that shit. What about your other daughter? You obviously ain't doing shit with her either. You are a trashy individual. You're a trashy individual. You're not the prince of shit. And you're not a Pan-African. Because the first institution is family. If you can't get your family together, don't talk about getting no communities together. If you can't get your family together, don't talk about doing nothing for no boys in the community. If you can't get your family together, don't talk about the black community getting together economically and socially together to defeat anybody. You can't even defeat the problems in your motherfucking life that you started and you created. Yeah, you're an embarrassment to Pan-Africans. You may have somewhat of a sentiment. You may agree with Pan-Africanism, but you are, in fact, not a Pan-African because you can't even unify with your own goddamn family. Anyway, that's all I got to say. This Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.